all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity.
got me so messed up, don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way.
Hey, howdy, hello, welcome Vikings. As you can see, I've got R4 with me today. We have, for the first time in proxy hit history, we kind of have a prediction. This is based off of the information that Polarium released with the new Shaman gear, of course. And a big shout out and thank you to Amber, First Wizard, and to Rowena, both awesome admins that worked tirelessly for the proxy group, that broke down the math and also all of the theory behind this gear to give you guys the best possible predictions of just how big our potential onslaughts might be. Of course, as well, thank you to R4 for joining me for a live stream today.
Well, thank you very much for letting me join. I mean, the info, I'm quite curious about what you want to show me, because I didn't have much time to look at it, and I know that you always do some great calculations. We know big things are common, and yeah, I mean, we kind of expect those OS sizes to increase, but we don't really know what these new Shaman gear is doing to the math. But I think you did the math, right?
Yes, that was where, again, Rowena and Amber, both huge, spent quite a bit of time, both the other night and this morning, throughout today, working on this math to get you guys the best predictions for what this gear potentially can do. Of course, you know, we're kind of speculating on some of this because, as we've seen, you know, things can change between when it is released in the game and when they show us bonuses. And of course, the bonuses might be applied in slightly different ways that we didn't anticipate before. But it's kind of just a little hint and a little potential, you know, look into what the potential could be. And I'm really was excited to share this with you, R4, and share this with our community. I hope it gets you guys as excited as it was me. It on one side is kind of daunting, as you will see with the numbers, and then on the other side it's like, ooh, this could mean bonfires. Of course,
okay, without showing what the actual math, are you looking forward to it, or are you afraid of it?
I don't get OS'd anymore. I think if I had a chance of catching OS, I would probably be looking forward to it a little bit more, because I know how much I can defend. But I am looking forward to it in the aspect of throwing troops. That will be the fun part. It will be, you know, let's see just how quick and how hard we can hit somebody. Now, when it comes to the other aspect of it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. If we're throwing potentially this many troops, as you guys will see the numbers, then it's one of those, how many of us will really have troops left?
True.
So I wanted to start kind of going over a little bit of this with going over the gear that they released yesterday. I believe you did you do a stream with it?
No, I didn't. I just did a post. I didn't have much time. I had like 20 minutes, and I thought, okay, I got the new info. What am I going to do with it? I just did a post. There were some other people doing a video about it. I just put the info out very quickly and shortly.
I saw, I know Storm, Negan, Hound, Stars Night, I believe the 4 of them did videos about it. So let's kind of get into this. There's people already asking in the chat, is this talking about single person contribution or max OS size? Well, simply put, both. As we'll show the breakdown of the gear and the numbers, it does affect both, and that's kind of like the scary thing here. So first of all, we've got the shaman gear. I know it's not ideal to read that on the screen because of how small it is, but each individual piece of this gear also has number of onslaughts in town 60%. So as you step down, I mean, you've got the helmet, you've got the armor, you've got the boots, you've got the weapon, you've got the 2 amulets. So by the time you have 6 pieces at 60% a piece, you are essentially getting to 360% of an added bonus for warrior number in an onslaught on towns. Now, like, we all know that warrior onslaught in a number can vary per either head count or per, you know, what the onslaught is calling. You know, I mean, that could be like, hey, you're calling on a town, your OS is bigger. Could also mean, hey, you can send a lot more troops now. So either way, it's going to be a huge thing.
Yeah.
And that's just with the 60% added that we see there.
And I'm quite impressed, I must say. I mean, we knew there are different sets that increase the OS size. There are some smaller ones. I think you will show this later. But especially comparing it to the King's gear, which so far was like the meta of OS size. The King's gear in compared to the new Shaman gear is just ridiculous, right?
Yes. Really, like, I was honestly, when they said they were releasing gear that would affect the shaman like the King's gear affects the hero, I was like, you know, honestly, like, we already have King's gear, so what? They're just making another set for shaman now? But then this came out, and, you know, I mean, it's got 165% on capturing fortresses on some pieces, 245% offense on capturing fortresses on other pieces. And I mean, when you really look at like it compared to King's gear, it's like, well, if I get this and someone has King's gear, well, who's going to come out on top of that? I mean, it's, you know, I mean, and then obviously you give somebody King's gear with these added bonuses of the shaman gear, and it's just like, wow, now we're getting into some staggering numbers.
Now we're talking, yeah.
Exactly. But this is the first time we have seen gear with an added bonus that has something like a number in onslaughts on towns. Specifically does not affect anything except towns. And that was really the biggest thing here. I will be probably in another video, I will be breaking down between the King's gear and this gear as what it is going to do in the defense and offense and capturing fortresses, holding fortresses, and other stuff to give a better view of just what, if people get this gear, they can expect. But other than that, as right now, the main focus of this was trying to get the information out for what this will do in an OS.
True. Yeah, and I think one core question is also how easy is this set going to be, or how easy can you get it? I mean, King's gear is, I would say, quite hard to get, if not one of the hardest items in the game to get. And this one, I don't know. It's very hard to say. We don't have details about the Asgard event to a point where we could say how easy it is to hold those towers and if those towers generate enough points to actually buy one of these set items.
Right.
Right. But if this one goes mainstream, it could become quite interesting. I would say.
And there's so many things here that come into play. Like Hound said in chat, I need to account for stat improvement after shaman gear is upgraded to level 9. We don't know, that was something in this math. We don't know if this is the gear upgraded. We don't know if this is the gear's base level. We don't know. We don't know where the stat bonuses that they show us on this gear are. So it's when we talk about the figures, we're talking about the figures based on the numbers Polarium showed us. And then, as usual, as we've seen before, things can be changed, things can be upgraded, things can be, you know, moved around. They could decide the bonuses are applied differently. But as of the calculations, as of for this video, they are based off of the warrior number in onslaughts on towns, 60% for every piece of this gear. As far as the gear's availability, we've seen them say it's going to be in the store of Asgard. We've seen them say clans are going to get points for clan events in Asgard. But those are still kind of up in the air. We don't know what those events will be. We don't know what they will entail. We don't know, you know. And I imagine gear that has bonuses that could scale up to this, or could start at this and scale differently, or maybe even not scale at all. Then I imagine that they are going to be pretty hefty in price.
Yeah. I was also doubting if the gear that we see here is either level 1 or level 9. I mean, it's either 1 or 9s. But if I compare these stats to the King's gear, I would say both options are possible. If I take, for example, the training speed, the new Shaman gear here that we see has 50%. But if we go to the King's gear, the items are fully maxed at level 9, give a bonus of 63%. So that would be higher.
Right.
And I don't think they would release new, more powerful items within a legendary event that is less strong compared to what we have now. On the other hand side, the King's gear offers a rather small onslaught bonus per item, around 13%, if I remember right. But here we see 60.
Yes.
That is crazy. If that scales up even more, and that's why I thought, okay, no, it must be level 1, otherwise it would be too imbalanced. But as I said, we never know. Maybe they release it like this and do some adjustments afterwards.
Right.
But your math on what we see right now is already impressive enough, I would say.
Oh, yes. The math is staggering. One thing, you know, we were talking about bonuses. The other bonus on here is troop offense when attacking towns, or defense and health when attacking towns. So, I mean, you're still going to get some staggering bonuses either way. If this is either, you know, upgraded fully, or if this is not upgraded fully, either way, you're going to get some staggering amount of stats straight out the gate that are going to help some in one way or another. I don't believe King's gear comes maxed. If I remember correctly, they have to upgrade it like any other gear, right?
Yeah, you have to. It comes in level 1 and you need to upgrade it, yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't have King's gear, so
Me neither.
let's get kind of this OS size chart. Again, apologies to the viewers on your phones. I know this chart is small. I can't really make it bigger. That's the problem. And you know, again, some of these things could change. Some of these things right now are just kind of mutable in the game. With all things maxed, all knowledge maxed, and this is without vulture gear. This is with troop specific shaman, and hero in probably an OS set, is around 166.3 mil for an onslaught. I think two yachts ago I got hit with 165 mil onslaught. Was a one-off, doesn't happen very often. I will be shocked if it happens again in the next year. The last onslaught I took like that. The last onslaught I took like that was I got burned, and that was Spartak. I took 6 onslaughts in a row, probably faster than I could blink, faster than my game could load, and I couldn't even honestly tell you how big those onslaughts were. I just know it was a staggering amount of troops. So 166.3 mil is roughly with all bonuses applied. That is with Vanquisher, that is with Modi, the Asir, and that is with the boost of 300% warrior number in an onslaught.
Right.
So again, that's 166.3 mil, and that's also in the Valley of the Asir. The Valley of the Asir does add an additional 15%, which, I mean, I gotta be honest, the chances of me throwing an onslaught from my Valley of the Asir is, slim to none. Chances are I see a target I honestly don't even think about, oh, we can burn him from the SH,
Maybe during Fury, but that's basically it.
Right, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's about it. So then we jump down to the onslaught size of with hero and shaman equipment and hero and shaman added. So then once you jump down, you add the range shaman. So it's just taking the base number you had before of 166.3 mil and just simply swapping out the shaman to rain, which rain skills of course mean you can have more in an onslaught. That bumps it up to 168.4 mil. And this is not a solo march. This is what is allowed in the onslaught. So it jumps the number up almost 2 mil. And then if you add the vulture set to your hero and the range shaman alone, jumps it up to 171.1 mil. So you're seeing a progression of about 2 to 3 mil added on every time you add another piece of gear or another layer to the equation. There's about a 1.5 to 2.3 mil gap that starts filling in. And then you add the king set and rain, which then jumps up from 173.6 to 176.2. So we're already, about 27 mil away from that 200 mil projected. And then full king set with assault gear on rain goes from 176.2 to 178.7. I would love to be able to send 178.7
that's a word.
And it'd be kind of one of those, why load 2 when you can load 1?
But I don't remember having seen such a big OS in any report so far, to be honest.
I believe that is with Modi and Vanquisher, as well as it might be with the Asir bonus of 15%. I know the King set alone adds a 78.2% to the onslaught size, which, I mean, when I don't know, I believe that is upgraded. I'm not entirely certain on that. Don't quote me if it's not. It might be the first level with all 6 pieces. But that would be very comparable to the 60% bonuses we're seeing now on the shaman equipment that they just released. 78.2 off of King's gear and 60% off of the shaman gear. So the numbers do very well mimic each other in that aspect. And as we know, like, King's gear obviously is not the easiest to get.
Nope.
I mean, it's not like I'm just, let me break out the King's gear before we send this OS. A lot of us, a lot of people call it the pay to get gear. A lot of people call it the Insomniac gear. I've heard it called, various other non-appropriate names. I know the people that have it work very hard for it, very diligently.
You need to be online for 48 hours basically, and hitting throne.
Everybody I know
non-stop.
that has it has definitely earned it. And then now you can win it. You can also win King's gear now by certain events, certain competitions by ranking in Yacht, which was a huge.
That's how we got too.
Oh yeah, very nice. Congrats.
But they removed the possibility instantly. The last year it was already gone. Now it's just achievements and town skins.
Too many people getting it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things of like, you know, it's possible to oh yeah, we do have a thing. It is possible to get 178.6 mil in an OS. And that's one of the things too of like, I know a lot of people are like, you know, a lot of people are like, whoa, I don't know if I could defend that. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I have billions and billions of T1. Like, I'm not even ashamed of that right now. I have billions and billions of T1s. And I don't know how my T1s would hold up to 178.7 mil hit. I know they did outstanding against 165 mil hit, but that King's Gear, the other added bonuses to it are just kind of, you know, ouch. There's offense bonuses and stuff that factors into that just definitely gives a you know, possibility. As Amber said in the chat, usually we don't see this size because many won't use King's Gear and Assault Gear together, but it is very possible to call that, you know. I mean, and I don't really blame them for not wanting to sacrifice their, you know, shaman ability or their shaman stats for throwing, you know, assault gear on their shaman, because that is just a smashing amount of troops. And
yeah, I'm honestly not too worried about towns. I mean, the people will just increase their meat shield. They will just build a few more T1. They will build more T4.
Right.
With these new OS sizes, I'm a bit more worried about the pop fights and stronghold fights. I mean, it can be a quite balancing factor for pop fights because kicking 400 million out of pop is quite an effort. But defending a stronghold with 340 M and looking at my clan size where we are about 10 players and with unity of 3 that keeps increasing, march size is about 150 million for some people. This is going to be a lot of West incoming.
Well, and then the other thing about the shaman gear was it does give that added offense when capturing fortresses. So, I mean, this might be that key. This gear might be that key to ousting 400 mil out of a fortress, or, you know, popping an entire SH siege of troops out. This might give you that added oomph to your stats that you need to. You know what I mean?
But I honestly thought, I mean, during the past fights when we fought in a stronghold, I thought that it's right now kind of balanced. You can defend, but you can also kick those people. And I think with this update, it's for my personal gusto, a bit too easy to kick people again.
Well, and we've seen that leapfrog action in the last several, I believe, like, I want to say the last 6 updates. There's been almost a leapfrog where it's been, you know, we got bigger reputes, but then the ability to lose pop by your enemy capturing it.
Yes.
We got more reinforcement sizes in the SH, but then we got the more opportunities to have more reputes, more onslaughts, more other things that can factor into the battle than just having, you know, 350 million
town skins as well that add decent bonuses.
Exactly. So I honestly think it's going to go back to the leapfrog effect again that we've seen, where they're going to give us a set of bonuses or a set of stats, and it might seem unbalanced for a while, but over time and over other updates, over other things that are added, you know, we will see it kind of even out again. And that's where these stats drop down again of the warrior numbers of onslaughts in town. So this is where we get into the tricky part. This is is where we get into the big
Yeah.
part. So we all know Polarium released the information about 200, 300, and 400 mil potential OS size boosts. Now, we don't know how those numbers are going to be applied, but with this gear, with just the new Shaman gear added without King's gear, just the new Shaman gear out of the Asgard store, warrior numbers in an onslaught on town for the number that they are showing on the gear right now makes that OS size 203.3 mil.
That is big. Yeah.
I mean, it's about 40. It's roughly 40 million troops bigger than what the max onslaught is now. With that is roughly what your max onslaught is now. 40 mil with all of your knowledge complete added on to the 166.3 mil. 203.3 mil would be possible in an onslaught on a town.
That already is 20% bigger than
Yes.
the 166. That's quite a lot. That's not a small adjustment there.
No, not at all. And that's with the 6 pieces showing 60%. That gives you a 360% bonus just for setting an onslaught on a town. Again, that's not factoring in the other things that can play into that. That's not taking the potential boost that they said they will add or anything else into account. There are rough adjusted sizes to that as well. If you add the Vulture set to your hero with the new Shaman set, it jumps up 3 mil to 206 million possible in an onslaught. And then if you add the King's gear and the new Shaman gear and Rain Shaman total, it will be 213.2 million troops in an onslaught on a town.
Okay. And I mean, that is big. I mean, we see in the town skins and in the hero skins right now that they try to go after towns, because I think those, first of all, they forced everybody to get achievements and town skins maxed to build troops as crazy.
Right.
And now they realized, okay, that was maybe a bit too much. Now we need to punish those meat walls and just add some bonuses on OS size, on town skins, on hero skins to get rid of those town troops.
Right.
I did some quick math there. I mean, the assumption is that the Shaman gear that we saw could either be level 9 or level 1.
Correct.
If it is level 1, if I compare it to the King's gear, from level 1 to level 9, all bonuses approximately doubled.
Yes.
Which means, correct me if I do the math wrong here, but from 166 to 203, that's roughly 35 mil. So if I add another 35 mil, we end up having 238 with a maxed level 9 Shaman gear.
Right, yes. If this is level 1, and it progresses up to a level 9 with the added bonuses, your math was spot on. It would be roughly, if this is level 1, the math would shake out to being roughly 238 million troops in an OS on towns.
And I'm exaggerating a bit now. That is roughly the old number of troops that you were able to put in a stronghold, in a clan stronghold.
Yeah.
So there's a whole clan stronghold attacking your town.
Pretty much, yes. Now, like, the thing is if clans are able to secure multiple pieces of this gear, can you imagine being hit by buy 5 to 6 200 plus onslaughts. I mean, you're by 5 alone right there, you're going to be hit with 1 billion troops.
It's quite crazy.
That I have a feeling 1 billion T7 would definitely punish some of those very high meat walls we've been seeing in Yacht and some other places.
I mean, it brings back some of the dynamic we used to have during Jotunheim, especially.
Right.
I realized during the past Jotunheims, really, I didn't see that many big clans OSing towns anymore. They just go straight for throne because it's not really worth attacking towns anymore.
Well, and in all honesty, like when Mark of Resolve, the hunt for other things pop up, or even just the personal kill categories, if I'm lacking something, I tend to want to just hit the throne. Especially during the hunt events, because I mean, you know, when you do see a town that you're thinking, hey, this is burnable, and you hit it or you spy it and they don't have spies, but you can see they've got, 15 billion T1 and 12 billion T4. Well, what's the point in hitting it? You're not going to get to anything, I mean, by the time your T7s or, God forbid, your T8s bounce off of it, you're just, you're basically giving them points and shards and closing their event, and you're just, barely getting 1 or 2 checkpoints in yours.
It happened to me as well. Had level 34 towns, 400 billion influence. I thought like, okay, safe hit, full T7. I hit it, and then I almost threw my PC off the window because they had 200 billion T1s. That's unbreakable. Right.
And now, I mean, again, the speculation on the prediction or speculation part that we do not know is if this 60% bonus, this 213, or even if it's not upgraded, the potential of 238 million troops in an onslaught on towns, we don't know what the factor of that 60% is. If that 60% is the base, and then it scales roughly up, I mean, we're still looking at an onslaught over 200 million either way. And those predicted numbers, we just don't know. We won't know until Polarium's released it, of course. And I mean, I'm of course, once it's released, we're going to be frantically searching for people that earn this gear. Hey, do you mind sending me a screenshot of your bonuses? Hopefully someone will be kind enough to share it, so we can get that information out to let everybody know just how worth this gear is going to be. What I'm seeing in just bonuses in general, I'm already over here half salivating over it. I'm just like, ooh, this could be, ooh. But we don't know if it's going to be affordable either. And it's going to be quite limited because we know in the video that they released recently, they showed the store, and in the store it was visible that you cannot buy an unlimited amount per clan. So I think it was like 6 and 2 pieces or something. So it's quite limited and exclusive, therefore. Right. And I mean, obviously, we don't know also if that store is going to limit pieces that can be bought per clan. I mean, they say there will be a new currency added, but it doesn't say if that's going to be like our loyalty points. If that's like our loyalty or our prowess points, I mean, then it goes by clan or it goes by person purchasing for your clan. We don't know if this gear is going to be released as far as like, I'm almost positive anyway. I can't say with 100% assurity. I'm almost positive that when you get this gear, it's not going to be released into your forge for you guys to manufacture it, because King's gear's not. If that was, obviously we'd have whole clans with King's gear. Yeah, as far as I got it from the video, the mechanic is the following. Your clan will gather points. So it's like the clan points that you gather for your clan. And then your chief can buy these from the store and gift them, just like the chief gifts the King's gear as well. Oh, okay. All right. And that is how it's going to work. But the number of armor pieces as well as skins is going to be limited. Right. Correct. And
this can only be the start. I mean, we got the info about the shaman gear. We knew that new shaman gear would come, but they also announced that VIP will be increased. We know that the shaman levels will be increased.
Right.
And as you've said before, you got an OS size increase from the shaman already, and
Right.
I would expect that to increase as well.
Also, I mean, VIP. I mean, there's other things in here that they said are going to increase within, the next year. Not on this update, obviously, as they released. They stated on several live streams that Torin answered that this update will be Asgard. VIP, Shaman, and other things will come soon. We don't know how soon.
I think there was a spoiler about May, because it wasn't clear. It was it's super speculative.
Yes.
But he wrote, I don't know if you remember that one. He said, there may, and it was capital letters, may come it may come soon, and the May was written like the month and capital letters, and he was talking about the shaman and the VIP. So they probably drop Asgard now in April, and in May the rest, or
now to give
additional ones.
Now to give also another smashing point to this gear. So we talked about the 213%, and that is with or 213 mil, sorry, not percent. And that is with King's Gear, the new Shaman set, and Rain. Now, let's get to this boost speculation.
Ooh.
Because here's where we're adding more stuff onto this. And this is the part that really makes me excited. And slightly feared for my boost count. So we've been told that there are going to be boosts available in the Battle of Asgard that increase the max number of troops in an onslaught during attack on cities. They released on several streams, and we've seen on several other things it hinted as 200M, 300M, 400M, meaning million. So now, if these boosts are similar to the 300% onslaught boost size that we already have, based off the 1% calculation that is on the bottom of this chart, they should be roughly 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000% onslaught size boosts against cities. Now that would mean...
Like, what?
Exactly. Now that would mean the numbers they gave us are calculated before adding in other bonuses that would actually increase the max number of troops in an onslaught during an attack on cities between 368 million to 613 million, which is adding that 200 to 400% boost on top of what we already discussed here.
Okay, I'm out.
Now, the possibility of having an onslaught with somebody with King's Gear, Rain, the new Shaman equipment, of potentially being 613 million, I believe that would make just about anybody burnable, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes, definitely. I don't know. I mean, right now we're talking about it, and I remember having this reaction a few times. It seems so unreal. It doesn't seem logic to scale it up that much, but taking the Bloody Jarl as an example, where they scaled up from level 10 to 11 from 185 to 900, and kept doubling it, almost doubling it, from each stage, ending up to 8.5 billion that you need to kill before getting the next level. If you would have told this to me before the update, I would have said, no way. That's why right now I tend to believe you, and that's why I'm kind of silent, because I'm trying to imagine this OS size coming at me. I felt safe so far, but I wouldn't feel safe anymore in the future. I wouldn't stay unshielded overnight in Jotunheim, that's for sure.
It honestly makes me have, flashbacks to, like I said, the yacht that I was burned by Spartak. I mean, that was six onslaughts that hit me in 30 seconds, and they were onslaughts at roughly 163 to 165 million. If there were 6 onslaughts of upwards of 400 million hitting me, I mean, you're looking at roughly 2.4 billion troops. Roughly adjusted math there. That'd be 2.4 billion troops hitting one town. Now, not saying that, a clan would potentially throw 6 onslaughts back to back to back of that size, but it could get potentially hair-raising. I would almost want to tempt fate and be like, I will test my defense against this. On the other side, I would be like, oh, this is scary. But that is if they apply those boosts on top of this. I don't know. I don't honestly know if there would be too many clans that would be like, okay, yeah, let's burn that city. Let's send a 613 million OS at it. Because the bouncing off that city could have catastrophic consequences. I would much imagine. I wouldn't want to lose 613 million of my T7 off of an OS. But there are clans that are strong enough to do it. Again, like I said, when Spartak bounced those 6 onslaughts into me, there really wasn't, I didn't defend near as much as I would have liked. I
think that's the revival of the shield.
I realized I was burning before the animation had time to catch up with the fact that I had no troops.
Yeah, they time it well. I mean, that is obvious. They are talking. They are on voice chat, and they time it on the second.
Yes.
And you need to consider that it's being hit by a 600 million OS is not the same as being hit by 200 million OS.
Correct.
The 600 one is gonna scale up so much more and overwhelm the city.
Correct. And that is with all of these bonuses that we've talked about on this gear, then we'd have to take into account also the army offense when attacking towns. That's another 220% bonus. On one piece of gear.
And the new town skins. We got 4 town skins that have stats against towns now.
Yes. I mean, you've got everything from...
You've got one of them, right?
Yes. You have everything from offense against T1 to offense against T4 to offense against T7. You've got, I believe...
Even against T8?
Yeah, I believe yours has offense against T8. We're seeing hero skins now with these bonuses applied to them as well that are just... give a staggering amount of bonuses against certain tiers of troops. And so with these applied things that we are seeing between these two charts, the potential for having, if these boosts apply on top of what we said already, of 200 mil, 300 mil, and 400 mil added on top of the bonus of King's gear and this Shaman gear, that would be a projected onslaught of anywhere between 368 mil to 613 million. And that would come with, obviously, its own, freight train of a hit. Now, with those boosts, those numbers could be projected to us already. Like, as we've seen, the 213 mil with King's gear and this Shaman set on Rain, that 220 mil to 400 mil max troops in an onslaught, it could be simply, with another added similar boost to that 300%, where the max onslaught is capped at 400 mil. We don't know how these boosts that Polarium said they're applying to the game will apply in use. So it's either or, and like I said, this is the speculation part. I don't want to for sure say that we could see 613 mil troops possible in an OS, but you know, if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I would ever see, you know, the numbers of 178 mil possible in an OS, I'd have been like, no, they'll never do that to us. That's not gonna happen. But it did. So I mean, this could be something they are working forward to. This could be their answer to the long-awaited question of, will towns become burnable again? Well, I mean,
it seems so.
The resounding answer, if the possible onslaught size could scale all the way up to 613 mil, well, yeah, very much they would be burnable.
And you know what's funny? The chat became quite radio silent as well. No, I think everybody's just shocked and trying to digest what you just said. There's nobody like, hey, cool, 600 million OS size coming at me. I cheer for that.
I you know, like I said, that would very, very much be one of the things that I'm like, yeah, I'm just not sure how I really feel about this. I want to say I could defend against it, but then at the other time I would be like, you know, this could instantly cut to my T4s. You know, and that would be assuming again that if it is a 613 mil OS size possible with these added bonuses, if it is that, what would a 600 mil OS size of T8s be? Like just how hard would the 600 mil T8 OS hit? But that's if they add it on top. Now, if they cap it, even them capping it at the max onslaught, because they said 200 mil, 300 mil, and 400 mil. Yeah, right. Even if they cap it at 400 million for the max OS size, that's still a pretty huge, beefy hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than double. It's like factor 2 point something, 5, 6.
Yeah. I think it would scale roughly to 2.7, maybe.
Okay,
on the high end,
even a bit higher.
I think it would scale possibly as the high end of 2.7. I'm not entirely certain on that math. But that would be with, you know, the added boosts, just making that a cap of 400 million with, again, King's gear, the new Shaman gear that we saw, and Rain. Now, again, not everybody has King's gear. Yeah. So, I mean, on the low end, without King's gear, where we're discussing, you know, where we said the numbers would be roughly 203 million, that would be what your onslaught size is, again, fully maxed at 166.3 mil with the new gear and the bonus that they showed us. Again, we don't know where that bonus is. With the new gear bonuses that they gave us, that would be roughly 203 mil. So that would be like me calling an onslaught once fully maxed with Vanquisher and everything else into play with the new gear, new Shaman gear on town, would be 203 mil. So, I mean, that would still be, you know, just that right there would be roughly, 30 mil higher than King's gear with Assault gear on Rain? And then, I mean, adding King's gear and the new Shaman gear and Rain would bump that up 13 mil more to 213 mil. Yeah. So, them saying the 200 mil, 300 mil, 400 mil, if these numbers are projected what they would be, if 200 mil, 300 mil, 400 mil would be possible, and that would be the cap, that would mean that roughly the adjusted 200, 300, 400 mil would be an adjusted like onslaught head count. number of warriors in an onslaught, or
Yeah.
and that would make it roughly 400 mil for a max. But again, we don't know where these 200, 300, 400 mil boosts are going to come in, or how they're going to be applied, or how their bonuses are. Just the gear alone.
And if those boosts are easy to get, right?
Exactly. That's something they said that there's going to be adding into the Asgard store.
Yes.
And they didn't, again, they haven't shown us what the Asgard currency is going to be. They haven't really shown us what the cost of anything out of the Asgard store is going to be. And then obviously, like you said, the hint of the view we got in the Asgard store, it was buy like one item here, buy one item there, buy, you know what I mean?
True.
So we don't obviously know with these boosts either if we're going to be able to buy one or two or multiples or at a time.
But that could change or evolve as well. I remember a time where a big boost, 500% out of Helheim, was something precious to me. Now it's the new standard. So I'm just
Correct.
using them every time we do defense or attack someone. So it's the new meta. Let's say everybody uses it. But we got some quite interesting reactions here. A gamer says, for example, as a defensive player, he thinks to quit with that big of an OS size. Blood Moon.
I think
Moon Rising says would be classy to get hit with that for sure if you got the right meat wall.
It would be epic.
Yeah.
One of the things is that we talked about how they leapfrog the game. So in the course of leapfrogging, we've seen them leapfrog in training lately.
Yes.
I mean, the amount of numbers we needed for Bloody Jarls skyrocketed on this update, but also the numbers we need more warriors. I mean, I think the total of from 11 to 20 is 120 billion, if I remember correctly.
From 11 to 20.
I believe that would be roughly an adjusted 120B, I think is what you would need to train. I haven't kept track. I'm on level 17. I haven't kept track of what I've trained for that just yet. In increment numbers, I just know like when I train, when I look at it, I'm just like, oh, I've got to do 10 billion more. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it's gonna come by itself. I mean, in total, I think the total. So if you start from 0 or level 1, it's 110B. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Huge.
this, if we're talking about how people have said, hey, the training numbers are getting high. I mean, this could be the Polarium's answer to that of, hey, the communities complain the training numbers and the walls are high. We're not seeing as many attacks on towns and yacht and other places as, we've seen in the past. Here, have a 600 million OS on cities.
Or even if it's 400 mil, that is already
even
quite
400 million.
interesting.
Again, like, I mean, if it's 400 million and 400 mil OSs are hitting you, that's 2.4 billion, right? Is that would that be roughly 604?
6 times 4 is 24. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it would be 2.4 billion. Yeah.
Yes.
That would be, well, I mean, I don't have a 2.4
That is
billion
enough.
P4 wall.
If it's to 7, enough.
Yeah, that's just, it's a lot. Even, and that's with it at the cap of 400 mil. If they do the opposite of that and we show, a 600 mil OS, I mean, in 2 onslaughts, there's 1.2 billion troops.
That somehow brings us back to, I'd call that old school Jotunheim.
Yeah.
Because
it would make yacht dangerous.
It was a statement to unshield and stay unshielded.
Yeah, I remember that was like a big test of strength when you got big enough and your gear was finally good. Your runes were set. You felt comfortable enough, and I remember the first time I unshielded in yacht, I was terrified. Like, I mean, and by then I'd already been playing for 3.5 years. Like, and I was just like, oh, here we go. Oh no. oh no, I'm gonna burn. But it became a thing of like, let's play. Yacht was the land of the big and the bad at that point. If you had the troops, you had the capability of defending and attacking, Yacht was where you went. And almost everybody at that point was burnable. I mean,
true.
Even people in the top clans were burnable. And anymore, it really shows that as the game has progressed and people have gotten stronger and stronger, we have bigger numbers. I didn't think, honestly, if you'd asked me before, if we ever would see like 10 billion troop walls, I would have been like, well, that's just a waste. Like, traps don't even do that, just because there's no point. But now obviously with gear upgrades and secret knowledge and other things, we're seeing more applied bonuses, and as it's said in chat, they want Yacht to become dangerous again. A lot of people want to see the burning funeral pyres in Yacht that we saw before.
Yes, absolutely.
It's Yacht is becoming almost, dare I say, a snooze fest.
Yeah.
I mean, I've fallen asleep the last couple of Yachts.
Yeah.
I've fallen asleep the last couple of Yachts in between events, sitting there unshielded and woken up and just nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
I very much like Yacht still to test. I mean,
right.
The hero skin tests and other things that are done, and the other stats that are applied and looked at, obviously they help, but that's a controlled environment. We control those tests to show the exact stats and how they're applied, to give people the better understanding of just what they're getting. But Yacht's fun. You switch hero skins, you switch, applied bonuses, you switch boosts, you can try different things to see if they work for defense and offense. And that to me, that's what makes Yacht fun, because nobody's looking at the scoreboard.
And I think I'd hope that these big OS size boosts are kind of hard to get, so that it doesn't become the new standard or mainstream again.
Right.
But that there is the possibility, that there is this danger in the air, that it is possible to happen. It might not happen, but it is possible. And this spirit of danger in the event itself is what makes it interesting. And I think it could improve the quality of the event overall, because the past few Jotunheims became more and more boring just because of the walls. But if you know that you can break through these walls, there is a solution to it.
Absolutely.
That would make the event a better event again.
Now the other thing with that is like, as Hound and Negan and you and I were discussing on the live stream,
on the trash talk,
on the four-way, on the four-way stream there, a lot of the top clans, and I've got multiple people I know in several of them. A lot of the top clans, they don't play cities in Yacht anymore.
No.
They play the throne.
No, they don't.
And there's really just a lot of them don't want to play cities. I mean, if I have the chance of hitting a city and knowing it's got, 2 to 5 billion T4 or T5 or, 5 billion T7, and people are using these as a wall, there's just no point in it. I would rather hit the throne, and I'm in a 21T clan. I would rather play the throne at that point, knowing that we have no chance to become kings of Asgard. I would rather hit the throne just to get kills to max my events easier than bashing into, a huge wall. But if this gear jumps it up to 400 mil or, 600 mil in an onslaught, we could see a lot of these top clans that are now playing the throne consistently. They'll obviously, of course, still play the throne, but we could see it more and more where they're going to be playing cities.
Yeah. But I think I just realized that it's actually pretty bad news for me as a town hunter, because often, to be quick, I just hunt them solo. But I think if the 400 million town OS is coming, what people will do, they will increase their meat shield. So we will have even bigger T1 walls, we will have even bigger T4 walls, and as a solo player, it will become even more difficult to hunt individual towns. So you will need the backup of your clan to fill a full OS in order to be efficient again.
Absolutely. You know, like one of the things King's Gear does give that bonus, that nice bonus of the person with King's Gear adding more to their onslaught. Yeah. So I mean, if you're looking at, you know, a potential size of even 200 million, one person's not filling that. If you're looking at other bonuses of you know, of it being possible upwards of 600 million, again, one person's not filling that. It's going to go away from the solo onslaught that we've come so accustomed to, and it's going to go right back to being, you know, onslaughts or assaults are again, it's a clan action, it's a clan function. It's going to be, hey, let's storm this, or let's onslaught this, let's get it, let's burn it. And I think it'll add another layer either way. It'll add another layer to the game where, you know, before, as it's been called, like a snooze fest. Yeah, true. Yeah, it definitely, I mean, I think we all agree the game at this stage needs a change. We cannot keep the game like this because it's kind of boring. The town battles are just stagnating. So something needs to change. So the increased OS size, I mean, it's a question of in which direction Plarium actually wants to steer the mechanics and the dynamics of the game. Right. With this solution, of course, they're going to emphasize playing as a clan more often, even when hunting towns, because you want to take advantage of this new OS size. Oh, right. Because if I do it solo, I don't know, I will have 150 million. I'm still far away from that. My Unity of 3 is work in progress, but in theory it's possible. Yeah. And that still makes a huge difference versus 400 million. So I will want to take the advantage of the 400 million. Okay, forces me a bit more to play in a clan. That is okay, I can understand it. It's Vikings War of Clans, not Vikings War of single Vikings. Right. So it makes sense. Bad news for me. Probably need to do my Jotunheim chasing or town hunting videos a bit differently in the future. But if it's for the good of the game, I'd be happy to make that sacrifice. Well, I mean, with King's Gear and the added gear, or without King's Gear, with just the added Shaman Gear, it being 203 mil, you know, in a potential onslaught on towns. And then, I mean, you jump that up to potential 200 mil, 300 mil, or 400 mil in an onslaught on a town. This could be where you and I just quit doing the whole attack my town. Well, the sniper hunt would cease to end if you burn the streamer. Yeah, especially as I sometimes switch to like random gear, like invader gear, or even I don't know. I sent both hero and shaman out. Had no hero and shaman at all in my town this last one. That would cease to be a thing. And that's just, you know, the other thing is if they added these on top and it was a 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000%, meaning that the potential max onslaught would be 368 million through 613 million. That is definitely not going to be a solo onslaught. Nope. Like I don't even think with Unity maxed King's Gear or everything else, you would be sending that many, but 613 million would absolutely. I mean, we talked about 200, 300 mil onslaught against a town, making yacht dangerous. If they applied them on top of these bonuses for the gear that we discussed, and it made it 613 million possible in an onslaught, that would, like our chat's saying, possible to skip the wall. I'm pretty sure 613 mil T7 would skip some of these walls.
Yeah, that is like skipping the wall, yeah.
And again, like that's where you have to look at added bonuses too, because I mean, we see a lot of T7 onslaughts, and T7 has that added bonus against offense against T1, T2, T3, and T4. I mean, so by the time you add, the potential size of it being, 300 mil to 600 mil, man, those added bonuses would just be, that would just be huge.
That would be huge, yeah. And thanks Ironside for subscribing to Bones. That definitely helps the channel.
Thank you. One of the things like R4 and I were discussing earlier was how easy is this gear gonna be to get? And that's one thing we just really don't know.
I'm tempted to believe that it is easier to get, but that is probably just optimistic me. Why do I think this? Because in Jotunheim, everybody's fighting for one tower. And everybody's hitting the tower again and again.
Correct.
Asgard event, first of all, we have more towers, so more options. And I hope that the big clans will go towards the center and just sit there, so that they won't contest the outer towers anymore, which gives us, smaller clans, a chance to at least hold one of the outer tower or the maybe second layer tower for a few seconds to get a few points.
Right. Yeah. I mean, all the bonuses are offensive and capturing fortress, defense in fortresses, and then attacking towns for the gear itself, or onslaughting towns on the gear itself. But I mean, as we've seen, Asgard is the land of towers.
Yeah.
It's going to have the central tower or the throne of Asgard, which we don't know how that will be. We don't know, obviously whether some of these clan events are going to be, capturing a certain level of tower, or capturing a tower, and then depending on the level of tower that you capture, you get more points. It's a lot.
I'm gonna call something. We will have, just in Jotunheim, we have the T4 and T7 kill event. In Asgard, we will have a T8 kill event.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's score will remain 0. They said you'll have to use T8s in Asgard.
Yeah.
Don't know what
That's
we'll
what
have
I'm
to
saying
use.
this because they already announced.
We don't know what we'll have to use T8s for. Oh, it's going to be, Torin promised us Asgard would be hot.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that the I call them island troops or the tower troops, there will be T8.
Yes. We already see them in Fury towers.
Yes.
Once you get into the top levels, I believe T8 start at 13. Is it 13 or 14?
Yeah, 13 is the new. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the scouts are so beefy in them. Is there's T8 scouts in there? Much to my poor T7 scouting towers. Fury, horrible. We've seen T8s in Fury towers. I don't believe we have T8s in home gang towers yet. Bye BMR. Good luck in home gang. I don't believe we have T8 in home gang towers yet that I've noticed. But depending on the Asgard towers, maybe we can see T8s in the home gang on an upcoming update too.
Yeah, why not? They tried T1, got rid of it again. They stick with T4 and T7 now.
Right.
Let's see.
I mean, anything's possible, and with these bonuses we're seeing on this gear and what it does to potential onslaughts. I mean, and these are onslaughts in town that we see the biggest bonus, but again, like I said, I'll be calculating probably for another video this week sometime. The offense when capturing fortresses and other applied bonuses that we see in this gear, if they leave this gear as it is, again, we don't know whether these are, what level this gear is, what it's upgraded to.
Sure.
But that'll be, again, calculations that are added based off of the pictures we're seeing. So it could prove that this gear, is going to give you a bigger when capturing fortresses bonus. It could be the quintessential, almost dare I say, replacing the gear we have for rain, depending on what the bonuses are, because we already have fortress for rain. Or it could be the mix and match. You mix and match troop offense when capturing, defense when capturing, health when capturing, off of both sets of gear to hit, and then you switch to your defense set when it comes to defending for a better bonus. Like, there's so many variables that could go into this, but that's one of the things that made these numbers so fun also. On why
I think, random idea, that that you will need Asgard medals, so the new currency, to upgrade the gear.
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think I don't know. I don't know what the gear upgrades for King's gear look like. I imagine they are pretty hefty.
No, they are actually like the standard Obergear, for example. Not even the new Shaman gear. It's quite it's feasible.
Nice. So I mean, if they upgrade this gear the same way, and again, we obviously don't know the scaling, but like you said, that scale could obviously it's
doubling, so the stats that we see could potentially double a bit more.
Right. And that would put us up into that 200, 300, 400 mil OS size as well. And like Time Lord stated, with this gear you could use rain to attack in towns. I mean, it would make I mean, rain has come to be known by a lot as the fortress gear. But it does give offense in onslaughts. And that offense in army offense in onslaught is a big bonus. So I mean, there's nothing saying you obviously can't put regular gear on rain anyway to attack a town. But then we need those shaman sets. Exactly. And that's one of the things like about this, like we've seen in my hero skin tests, the challenger hands down beats most because you're sending more troops.
Yes, it kills more in total. Yeah, I did the same math. If it's just about killing total numbers, clearly wins. When it comes down to how many you lose compared to how many you kill, it's actually not that good. So for pointing enemies during events where points matter, like Fury, Kingdom events, CVC, don't use it. If it's just about burning people, like in Asgard and Jotunheim, you can take Challenger.
Exactly. And that's one of those things that I wonder about these boosts as well is, are they continuing on with the overwhelming numbers? We discussed, the overwhelming numbers of troops that people are training now. So, I mean, it would just kind of, if you're keeping with that theory, then it would be an overwhelming amount of troops that you're sending to attack. So it'll be interesting to see just what this gear has in store for us. But as before, just the new Shaman gear alone, and my max OS is not quite 166 mil. Mine, I believe, right now is about 162, 160, somewhere in there. Not quite to max on it yet. But with just a max town OS of 166 mil, just with this Shaman set alone, it jumps it to 203 mil against towns. That's with That's with the numbers they're showing on all 6 pieces of gear.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there would be our base for a 203 or 200 mil onslaught.
Yeah, nights without sleep ahead.
I don't think if either number set, either when you're looking at the anywhere between 200 to 400 mil, or if you're looking at anywhere between onslaughts possibly being 368 to 613 mil, I don't see people sleeping with their shield down in Yacht or in Asgard.
Nope.
Either way, they are some
Madness and Valor done now.
either way, they are some beefy numbers. And that's again without taking into account, shaman skills updating. The shaman upgrade, the VIP upgrade, the various other things that they're going to be updating that could affect these numbers again when they come out.
Don't forget the Aesir. We will have new Aesirs.
Yeah, the Aesir that you uncovered. Yeah, I mean, if there's other bonuses there that affect onslaughts, I'm sure there's going to be other bonuses there that are going to affect the offense and defense of troops or when guarding.
I'd expect that because we will have 6 new. Not sure if they release 6 at a time or if it's going to be selective or even in a seasonal store. We have no clue yet. We just know they exist. The bonus, no clue how to level them. We don't know, but they will come. I'd expect if we have 6, there will be something with onslaught and troop size.
Right, absolutely. And very, very valid point, Alaire. She said this will free up the Pioneer 9 spot. If everybody's burnable again, yeah, it would be possible. I mean,
that's a nice thing, yeah. And we need level 9 for level 10 in the Asgard event.
Yes. As we've seen in the past, streamers can currently now give Pioneer 9. I do not expect us to be able to give Pioneer 10 as soon as Asgard comes out. It'll take a while. That'll be one of those things that'll take a minute.
It took Plarium about 2 months until they started giving out 7 Flames of Odin. So they let us feel the pain first before giving them out for free.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things also with all these stats, I mean, so we're having some fun with numbers and throwing some predictions out, anywhere 200, 300, 400 mil onslaughts. But I mean, town skins and other stuff are going to factor into this.
True.
You've got your offense during defense, your other things that are going to factor in, and they're going to play into the whole thing of just how well can you defend with your stacked bonuses.
Yeah, interesting times ahead. A lot of room still for speculation, even though we have some very specific information already. Different factors that can change the meta in quite an important way overall. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would welcome seeing. In all honesty, I would be excited to see a 638 mil onslaught size.
Because it would change the way we play the game in such a dramatic way.
Yeah.
And I already imagine people that took a break of the month. You remember Hound when he took a break just before the update?
He came probably back not to a good time to take a break now. Entirely different. Yeah. I mean, if you're planning on taking a break, make it a well, I mean, the update would come out we've been told the 11th, so that's in 2 days. That would be take a vacation tomorrow. Enjoy a 24-hour trip and bam, there you go.
Yeah, true. Yeah, get some sleep before Asgard, because that's a 24-hour event. 24 hours awake with 144 boosters to use of each type.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Other thing is it's been asked a couple times if this is going to be available in Asgard only. So we know the gear is going to be bought in Asgard only. Now, the
Yes.
boosts that we discussed that kicked this onslaught size up to 200 mil, 300 mil, 400 mil, or potentially 300 mil through 600 mil, we don't know if those boosts specifically are going to be only allowed in Asgard. We don't know if those boosts specifically are going to be only available once you purchase them in Asgard and you have to use them until the duration of the event. We don't know if they're going to be purchasable in Asgard and your clan has one, so use it sparingly. I can say with almost certainty that once you get the gear, you're going to keep the gear. Because, like, obviously when Yacht ends, they don't take King's gear away from the person that has it.
No, wouldn't make any sense. People wouldn't fight that hard to get it if it's just temporary.
So, as far as
the formulation that we... Sorry?
As far as the boosts go, we just don't know how they're going to be applied or just where they're going to be applied, really. We know they hinted to them being boosts for offense or onslaughts in towns. And again, we see the bonuses that are given, you know, for the gear. Now, like, I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves with that gear alone is, you know, makes a 200 mil onslaught size.
Yeah, the formulation that Torin used is kind of not... leaves a room for interpretation. He said, in the Battle of Asgard, you will be able to get boosts that increase the maximum number of troops when assaulting the town. And then we have the three options, 200, 300, and 400 mil. So I guess you will have to, it will be an item in the Asgard store, even though we didn't see it in the video. But the store wasn't shown completely, so I guess you will be able to get it there. If it's just usable there, I would doubt so, because then again, wouldn't make any sense to be only able to use a booster that increases the onslaught against towns in an event which is not about towns.
Correct.
So it would be interesting to get those boosters for events like Jotunheim. So I would assume that they make them available all the time. You can only buy them with during the Asgard event.
Right.
It would be interesting to know if it's the same mechanic as for the gear, so that your chief has to buy those boosts and then attribute them to the players, or if the players also have access to the store, can buy those boosters but not the gear and the skins. Could be that way.
Right. I mean, also the other thing is I mean, we talked about Yacht. I mean, what's it gonna mean when a 203 versus, you know, 203 or 400 mil onslaught is burning towns in CVC, or is burning towns in Fury, or is, you know what I mean? It's gonna make it's gonna be interesting to see how, like, if you have a limited number of these boosts, how a clan applies them strategically in order to get ahead in competitions, because I think it's going to very much make it a thing of battles. You're gonna have to strategically plan these boosts in order to get those 203 to potential 400 mil onslaught sizes.
I think that someone was mentioning that earlier. It was very early in the chat, that it could be a thing then to strategically take out other players to remove them from the battle. Let's say you know that a Fury phase is upcoming, and you pick out a player, you zero him, and you know that he won't be able to fight the next phase because he needs to train troops again.
Right. I mean, it would definitely be a thing if you can you know, eliminate even like an onslaught setter. If you can eliminate, you know, people that are joining onslaughts, if you can start taking people out in numbers and essentially cripple your enemy, or even, you know, I mean, if you have, the max OS size was bigger than the max number of reinforcements for a while. I mean, so this could be that again, where we're seeing that 400 million onslaught size on a town, and they're giving us the bonus on the town versus the onslaught on a fortress. So I mean, it could again be another strategic way to cripple your enemy and stop them from playing an event, or at least slow them down.
True. Yeah, it gives the game another level of strategic thinking. Yeah.
Absolutely. Or as Amber just said in chat, we will be able to storm naked cities that are defending towers. I mean, I know I don't shield up when I'm reinforcing a Fury tower.
No.
So I mean, it could be the thing of like, oh, well, now I'm in Ubba's gear and my shaman's out. Now I have to shield.
We often have it during home gang that especially when we jump on the islands and then reinforce, because then if you get a hit and it's bad and you would need to re-shield, first of all you need to recall your troops, takes time, then you need to jump away, it takes time, so you're in a very vulnerable spot at that moment, and that could be a thing. A lot of people do that, especially with our players that look weak. When they see they cannot break the tower, they try to burn the town, make the troops retract, and then hit the tower again.
Right. I mean, so this could add so many different strategy points with those max OS sizes that we are seeing as predictions.
Madness and Valor will become a pain to get. Yes, true. I'm happy I'm doing mine. I still don't have level 10. Don't really need it for the bonus itself, but it's nice for the collector.
Right.
Obviously.
That it would be an interesting mechanic as well. Amber said, wonder if we can shield on the islands of Asgard. I mean, if the whole thing is kind of like the Rocks of Yacht, to where you have to be naked. Yeah. I mean, if we're getting these big onslaught bonuses, against towns, and people are sending their hero and shaman in to try to reinforce towers, I mean, that could be the quick leg up for a clan to take a tower over. Start eliminating the players that are reinforcing the towers. Start taking them out one by one, and then until, next thing you pretty much have a tower to just take.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I like the idea of having new mechanics, developing new strategies. It's just a bit weird how this, this update or reworking game stats works, because it changes so much from update to update. It's not like we want to have the battle system work this way. It is constantly changing. Correct. You need to readjust how you fight, how you defend, how you reinforce. But if that's the intention, then it's working pretty well.
Right. And I mean, either way, even a 200, 300, or 400 mil onslaught size is still pretty beefy. I mean, you're still going to see either people are going to build way more massive walls, or, they're going to, just like potentially burn. I mean, I know I can take a hit, but I do not know if I could take 4 or 5 hits at that size. It's funny, I see a Lair in chat, and I was talking earlier about Spartak are the ones that burnt me, and they did it quite efficiently and effectively. So seeing these max onslaught sizes again, I mean, would have to be exciting for higher clans like them, like Spartak, like Ret, like Blood, then, but also seeing these higher numbers are exciting for mid-range and lower clans like ours. I mean, I know for us, I mean, I can call 166 million OS, and that's me and 1.5 other persons in my clan. 1.5 other clannies. Well, I mean, there's 12 of us in my clan for 21T. It's usually me and Amber both calling onslaughts, and that's we're both full with 2 or 3 people. So we could do like 3 or 4 onslaughts just in our 21T clan. So I mean, it would be one of those things to have an onslaught size capable of that. It would be one of those things of, potentially having the ability to have, you know, an entire clan fit into an onslaught.
Yeah,
Claire
especially the big
says
ones.
she didn't burn me, but she knows what I'm talking about. She saw the battle reports. But you know, it is exciting. I would be very excited for the people that get an onslaught of 400 mil. Not only people that are able to be hit by it and defend it, because I mean that's a feat of strength right there, but also for the people that are able to put together an onslaught that efficiently and effectively at 400 mil. Now, I mean 400 mil, you know, 3-4 onslaughts, you're looking at 1 billion troops. I mean, and the timing of some of these clans is staggering. I mean, there are clans that hit split seconds apart on top of each other to literally, I mean, you're getting one battle report with 3 or 4 onslaughts in them. I mean, so if 3 or 4 onslaughts of 400 mil hit you at once, there's 1.2 billion troops potentially, or 1.6 billion troops. I mean, so this could be Polarium's answer to, you know, you guys had your fun with training for the last couple of months. You've got your town skins maxed way quicker than you would have if you did it slow wise. You got your Need More Warriors achievements maxed way faster than we anticipated. Some of you did Bloody Jarl while you did that. So this could be Polarium's answer of here. Have a 400 million troop OS or have a 600 million troop OS. Either way, you know, I mean, it could definitely cut down on those numbers and make Yacht playable again, make you know, Home Gang, Asgard, and other various places just dangerous.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely going to change the meta in a way that we won't be able to feel safe again.
Right.
Not even us, kind of maxed players with good skin progress. We will be burnable in the way we are right now, but I think this is going to add numbers to meat walls again. Probably T5 is going to be a thing then, having 2 to 5 billion T5 to protect against those OS.
Maybe, I mean, or it might just balance out, you know, with the hero skins and the town skins. And I mean, it might make it to where it's one of those, you have to make sure you have the right hero skin on if you're sitting naked. You might make, you know, that you might be able to defend onslaughts at that size once your secret knowledge has progressed past a certain point, or once you're, you know, once you have other gear and other things factored in. There might be, you know, some things to play here. I mean, and it could be that we have a month of danger time, essentially a month of wildfires, so to speak, in events, where then, you know, when VIP comes out, when other stuff comes out, that will make it more manageable to defend against something this size. But again, we just don't know how these bonuses and boosts are going to be applied. But the math, you know, again, as we went over earlier, shows that very much with this gear, again, we don't know how hard it's going to be to get. Very much with this gear, a 200 million OS is within reach.
Yep. Good words.
It'll be fun. I look forward to it.
Yeah, me also in some way, because I feel like it's time for a change, and there needs to be a way to make towns burnable. That is a way. So it works for me. I mean, we'll have to see. It fosters the clan, because you need to fight together to burn towns efficiently. That's the way to do it. And yeah, I will need to do my math again. How many T4 I need for my wall?
Yeah, it be definitely one of those things. I wouldn't be looking forward to playing a round of burn the streamer while they're streaming thing. That's for sure.
I mean, I jumped to Blood Kingdom and I thought my scout wall is safe, but it wasn't. I wrecked my scouts.
Oh, hang on. Evidently there is a confirmation on Discord. I'm seeing if I can find it. Evidently, there is a confirmation on Discord that Lars the Viking did say that the gear for the shaman will be able to be improved.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, makes sense. Every legendary gear can be improved. The question is if those that we saw, is it level 1 or is it level 9?
Right. Yeah. That 60% warrior number on onslaught in town that changes to 360% when all 6 pieces are added. I mean, if that 60% is the low end there, you know, like.
I think it's going to be around 140 to 150 then.
Yeah.
On level 9.
Yep. That would mean, you know, that would kick it up. The numbers would kick up then within that. You know, they would stay within that 200 to 400 million range again that we've discussed. But we don't know again like how these boosts that they stated, you know, are going to factor into that. So, I mean, that would still very much still put us in the 368 mil to 613 mil range for onslaughts.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those big things are coming.
That's for sure. Right. Yeah, it was very cool talking about it with you, and I'm happy that I did the math because now I know that sleepless nights are ahead, or I will need to put a shield. Let's see.
Absolutely.
I kind of like to stay unshielded.
Stock up on the shields for a yacht is what it appears to be. I like this.
There was probably a meeting. I see the monthly meetings and where they track the usage of different items, and then the guy says, okay, we see a drop in shields by 95%. We need to do something about it.
They're no longer using shields in yacht. We have to fix this. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining me today to go over this information.
Thank you for the invitation. Always a pleasure to be on the stream with you.
Always nice to get another side too for this prediction. For this prediction as what we could potentially see coming up in the future.
Yeah.
And of course, big shout out again, you know, to Rowena and Amber First Wizard that put this information, this chart together. This chart will be available in Proxy Discord as well as Proxy Line. I'm also going to be sending it to, of course, you. So R4 will have it.
And you said it's only for your subscribers, so make sure that you are subscribed, right?
Yeah, hit the like and subscribe button. You know, one of the things is request. Oh, we have a request for Baby Shark.
I already said on my stream, the only time I sing Baby Shark is when Torrent takes my gold.
Yeah, my gold's still there. I still have 1.4 billion. It hasn't disappeared.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you again to, you know, R4 for joining me on the stream for these numbers, and to Amber First Wizard and Rowena, both proxy admins, both those ladies work tirelessly to provide information for not only streamers, for the community. Big shout out to both of them for the math behind these numbers that was able to bring it to you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's a lot of work, yeah.
And thank you, of course, to the people that tuned into this stream.
Absolutely, it's them making the information relevant, and making the work worth the effort. Right. Because otherwise, if nobody's interested in this, wouldn't be worth doing it. But as you all joined in, that's kind of the reward for it already. And also big thanks from my side, because I'm end user in the end. I use the proxy community also a lot, especially the bot. And I'm super happy that this information is out there. It really makes the game easier, planning rewards, planning battles. So it's a very, very big added value to the community and the game experience overall.
Right, absolutely. I think that was all we had for today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the update is knocking at the door. Once we have very concrete information, we will have topics to talk about again, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, the updates. They said the update's as close as the Millennial Forest is to the Palace of Power. So I mean, Monday, Monday, here we come. We don't know obviously when. We will have to wait and see when our first Asgard event is going to be. This is today will be ending our last what we know of as KVKR. We are losing revenge for it. Most people are like, "Woo, yay, we could do without revenge." I'm like, "Oh, but that was like my 2 to 3 days off." But it really as times evolve and things change and the game changes, it's really this is going to make it a fun update. And I think these numbers that we covered today and the other topics that we the streamers, really the streaming community, have discussed and that the proxy community have brought to light for this update, through watching multiple streams, translating multiple things, and then that has been covered by streamers. I think this update, when they say it's just going to be Asgard, I think this update is going to change quite a bit of things, really. And that was why I was excited to have you on here today. Please, if you guys,
you just wanted to see my shocked face.
Yeah, I didn't go over these numbers with R4 before we jumped on the stream. I was just kind of like, here's the chart, here's the information we're covering. Bam! Oh, by the way, we're starting.
And there we go. Yeah, reality is hitting hard.
Please, if you guys haven't, I will try to drop. I think I can drop your channel in my stream. Please, if you guys haven't already, like and subscribe to R4's channel. That would be absolutely awesome. And of course, if you're not a subscriber to mine, hit the like and subscribe to my channel as well. And thank you guys for tuning in. There it is. I sent the link to your channel in chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you all in the update. I hope you enjoyed your last KVKR. I hope you all have enjoyable, fun home gangs. Those of you that got time slots, I know there's been some difficulty with that.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out again.
My bad. Hopefully that will be resolved. With them running this as a one-day event, hopefully they can stretch home gang and maybe make it like another day extra or something, that will open some time slots. Like, we don't know what they have planned. I know home gang time slots have been a hot button issue for a while for people. It is hard for people like yourself to get up, in the middle of the night, essentially, to have to sign up, and then slots sign up so fast. I've seen multiple people in the community say they went to sign up and they were literally like, they didn't hear their alarm and they were 30 minutes to 40 minutes off, and by the time they went to sign up for a slot, boom, it was filled.
It happened to me. It was the first thing I did when I woke up this morning, and I did all slots, literally all slots. Slot 1 to 7 were taken. I can give a watch out at this point, or I submitted a ticket to Plarium and complaining because I told them I need content. How am I supposed to create content when I'm not able to join the events? Well, that's another topic. They said in the future the number of slots may be increased. That's what they told me in the support ticket.
So hopefully with KVKR, which was a 3-day event, disappearing, and Asgard replacing it, which they have said Asgard is a 1-day event, or 24 hours. We obviously don't know, if the kind of like Yacht, it's going to be 2 days open, but the event of Asgard itself is 1 day. We don't know what what this upgrade exactly entails, but hopefully, you know, that means they can possibly stretch the home gang just a little longer, get more time slots in. You know, it's been discussed, you and I discussed it actually, of, you know, it would be cool to have rotating time slots. So, I mean, it might start, like, home gang normally is 8:30 p.m. my time is when announcements are out for home gang to pick a slot. Not bad for me. I know it's like 2 in the morning for you, but it would be nice to see. Yeah. It would be nice to see it rotating. So, you know, when it's like 8:30 p.m. for me one time, like the next time is like 2 a.m. for me. You know, I mean... Yeah, that is shifted by 12 hours or something, or make it rotate by, I don't know, 8 hours. Right. And, you know, yeah, like Alair just said in chat, we will also want home gang for Asgard. I mean, you're going to want to go into this event, it looks like, with these bonuses for sure. True, that's going to make a difference, yeah. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream, and you guys also, you know, got some useful things out of our predictions. We don't know everything about this update just yet. These are kind of like these are a proxy prediction, which proxy has not predicted much in the past before. So it was a exclusive first for proxy, also exclusive, you know, first for me to bring it to you with R4. Please, guys, hit the like and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you on my channel more and seeing you on R4's, hopefully. Yeah, that would be a good thing. It really helps. I mean, it's the numbers that count, and if more people are subscribed, we get more information, better information from Plarium, and it makes it more easy for us to create content for you as it's appreciated. Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, and we will see you when the update comes out, I'm sure. I don't doubt that. I imagine Monday will be a streamer day for a lot of us. If they add new things. I hope we get some information from Plarium ahead. Yep. Exciting stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck in the rest of your KVKR if you're playing. Have a happy, peaceful, and wonderful weekend. Good luck in home gang if you got a time slot. Good luck in your CVC battles as they are announced, and I look forward to seeing you guys all soon. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.